Good evening. I'm Emily Akhtarzandi, Managing Director of AtlanticLIVE, the events division of The Atlantic magazine. And I'm delighted to welcome you to the Renewal series here in Seattle. We're here to talk about how local innovators and city leaders, like many of you with us here tonight, are tackling the most pressing challenges that Seattle faces. Impact Hub, this cutting-edge co-working space here in the heart of downtown, in many ways embodies the spirit of what we're here to explore. As we begin tonight's conversation, it's important to note that Seattle has a lot to grapple with. Seattle is one of the fastest growing big cities in the United States. Many credit tech companies like Amazon and Microsoft for driving Seattle's economic boom and employing thousands of city residents. But as you all know, Seattle is also one of the most expensive places in the country to live. And despite raising the minimum wage to one of the highest rates in our nation, the city and surrounding King County had to declare a state of emergency in 2015 over skyrocketing homelessness. There is a growing sense that, like so many other places in the country, Seattle is becoming a tale of two cities, one that is growing richer and the other that is struggling to get by. So we're going to dive into all of these issues tonight. But to explain what brought us to Seattle in the first place, The Atlantic has been on a 3-year mission to identify people and organizations dedicated to driving positive change in their cities. Part of that effort has been the Renewal Awards, now in its 3rd installment. The Atlantic is making a nationwide call for nominations. We're looking for people making a difference in their communities, anywhere in the country. And there's too much to detail here, but if you want to explore everything you could possibly want to know, is at therenewalproject.com. And I want to take a moment to thank Allstate for making the Renewal series possible and making tonight's gathering possible. And it gives me great pleasure to invite Allstate's Brian Walsh to say a few words. Brian is Allstate's Northwest Region Senior Field Vice President. So Brian, the floor is yours.
Emily, thank you. Good evening, everybody. Welcome. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. The good news is I'm only going to talk to you for just a couple of minutes, and then we're going to bring on the main show. But before I do that, what I'd like to do is I'd like to start by saying Allstate is very proud to have been partnering with the Atlantic for the last 8 years, since 2009. We're here to celebrate those innovators and change makers responsible for helping to renew Seattle and keep it the vibrant, thriving community that it is today. We're also proud to be involved in the Renewal Project. One goal of the Renewal Project is to shape inspiring stories of individuals who are making communities stronger and helping people live a good life every day. We will elevate their work from a neighborhood conversation to a national one. As Emily mentioned, Allstate and the Atlantic launched the Renewal Awards in 2015 to spotlight and celebrate local innovators and entrepreneurs. According to our poll, 75% of residents think staying in the Puget Sound region is best for their career and family life. The top 2 factors cited for staying or moving here are job opportunities and a progressive environment of tolerance and inclusion. Also, residents believe 91% of nonprofits and volunteer organizations are very active in solving problems and providing aid to those in need. As a network of more than 10,000 small businesses with roughly 75 Allstate agency owners in the Seattle area, we see the impact of creative local problem solving firsthand. Our agency owners are active in dozens of local organizations that work to strengthen Seattle communities. So it's easy to see how the Renewal Awards and the Renewal Project are a great fit for Allstate. We are a force for good in the communities we serve. Now I'd like to introduce my colleague, Tara Leweling. Tara is going to introduce you to 3 incredible individuals working to improve communities across the country. Thank you very much and enjoy the rest of the program.
Brian, thank you so much for that and for leading our Northwest region. It's so great to see you again. As Brian mentioned, since 2009, we've partnered with Atlantic Media to understand the struggles of communities on the heels of the Great Recession. More than 6 years later, that journey led us to the Renewal Project, which is why we're here tonight. Now we're moving from insights into action, and the Renewal Project is helping spotlight and celebrate those creating a path toward renewal and growth. We're looking for local innovators who are working tirelessly and mostly under the radar, let's be frank, to improve their communities. Our goal with the Renewal Project is to lift them up and to give them a national platform to tell these incredible stories of how they're engaging in the community, how they're innovating for social good. That's why tonight I want to introduce you to Aaron, Marcus, and Stephanie. Just a few of the inspiring individuals that we have found in our journey with this project. In this video, you'll meet people who, as Brian said, are working as a force for good in their community. And while you may not see them on covers of magazines yet, you're guaranteed to find them hard at work, planting the seeds of hope and inspiration about renewal and change in the communities where they work and serve. So please join me in listening to their stories and being inspired by the incredible work that's going on all around us.
I think can come in a lot of different ways. It can be about voting, it can be about protesting, it can be about like standing up for what's right, and it can also just be about saying like, you know what, I think something should be different here, and I'm going to be the one who leads that change.
What does it look like to serve so many years inside of prison where all you can do is dream? And then you come home and what you find is that everything that you dreamt about now is blocked by huge, huge barriers.
In Alexandria, there's a lot of families in need, and women, I believe, are the backbone of those families. And if they don't have help, and if they don't have the ability to get into the workforce and make a living, their families are going to suffer.
I think that the way that people are able to make change in their communities is pretty slow, and it's really hard, and it's under the radar. Being a citizen in this country is about stepping up and doing what you need to do.
The Flickshop School of Business, what we want to do is we want to be able to help those guys who come home from prison. We want to help them navigate through what that blockade looks like, and so then we can help them either jump over it or jump around it or communicate with those that allow those walls of Jericho to easily tumble down.
Together We Bake, the recipe is job training, personal development, empowerment, and support. And that helps women get back on their feet with some new skills and confidence and a desire to live a positive life.
IOB finds people who have great ideas for their neighborhoods, and we work with them to make them great citizen leaders. I think a lot of people are inspired by other leaders on IOB. They might see a mom who started a project to put up crosswalk flags near a dangerous intersection and get inspired by that and try something out like that in their own neighborhood.
One of my favorite students, Robert. Robert was an amazing man. He was an incredible man. He served 19 years in prison. He came home and he enrolled in one of our classes. I want to help elevate the stories of the Roberts because these are the success paths that you're going to see of the guys coming out of my class.
We want people to know that change is possible, and small things can actually have a really big impact. My name is Erin Barnes.
Stephanie Wright.
Marcus Bullock.
And Renewal starts in Brooklyn.
Renewal starts in Alexandria.
Renewal starts here in Washington, D.C.